Welcome to the House of Hammer, built by the nation for the nation. Welcome to Raider Nation News today. Hope everybody's having a great Monday wherever you guys are at. I am your host and your resident tribal chief, Hammer. Those in here, y'all know the routine. Those new in here, let me learn you real quick. Smash some thumbs, hammer that sub, crush a bell to stay up to date with all your Raiders news, rumors, updates, live streams, and reactions. Y'all know what it is. It's Monday, the day after a game. We do have our weekly or our Monday presser with head coach Antonio Pierce, and we will bring it to you in its entirety as it starts. The latest edition of As the Shield Turns will be on momentarily. We're just waiting for Antonio Pierce to take to the podium. A terrible loss yesterday, an embarrassing loss yesterday. Oh, Pierce is already out there. Let's start this shit up. They look like they're in a super dark room right now. Let me know that you guys can hear AP. Thumbs up, please. That's what I just asked you guys.
But then, he went back out there, and I thought
We
there were some
good?
opportunities for us to make plays, and at that point, we just didn't. At that offensively, we kind of hit the mud.
The fuck?
I think the defense responded well. Really, I think we had 2 3-and-outs when they were backed out. At least 1 3-and-out when they backed up. Held them on another one, and then they had that 2-minute drive right before half, and then we came out in the second half had another 3-and-out. So I thought the defense, did step up for the most part.
Here's the quick pass game. I think we saw a little bit against Carolina defensively. What would you like to see guys from on the second level? Whether it's I know we talk about tackling, but taking different angles.
Like you can't even hear this shit. Like they're questioning.
So you're talking about the tackling?
There we go.
Yeah. Tackling has to improve. I mean, there was again late in that game, especially probably like late third quarter, fourth quarter. You saw some guys slipping off tackles. Got to grab cloth. It's all good. Punch at the ball. Everybody talks about it, but the most important thing is get the ball carried on the ground.
Hey, no Diddy, man. No Diddy.
Well, I think every team's going to get into a quick rhythm. You want to get your quarterback off to a fast start and having completions, and that slows down the pass rush as well. So I think it all ties in. The pass rush, the coverage, tighten up, and again, at the end of the day, it's either batting the ball down like we've done a couple of times, or when the guy catches the ball, either we're there to make a play on the ball or get him on the ground. Yeah, the football. It's all about the football. You got to protect the football. The easiest way to lose a game is turnovers. Not enough. Not really enough to look at. I think it was 12 passes or so. Maybe give or take a little bit more, maybe. Again, I've seen enough of Aiden last year, spring. I know what to expect from Aiden. I haven't even said we're going to switch. So we're still evaluating the film from yesterday. I can't go off of ifs. I wish I could, but I'm not. I'm not going hypothetical on that one. Sorry.
Coach Lau was made in terms of how the offense responded after the interception. Can you talk about how well they played before the interception?
Yeah. I mean, we were rolling, wasn't we? I mean, think about it. Ball's on the 4.5-yard line, and we're about to probably go up 17-3. Worst case scenario, 13-3. Thought we were making plays. Hell of a job, throw and catch by Brock there on the fourth play or fifth play of the game. Then you saw the running game pick up. Abdullah was running well. Had a little mixture with some receivers, jet sweeps, and DJ Turner getting involved. And I mean, it was flowing, very, very fluid. I thought those guys did a great job, especially up front, protecting the quarterback, QB getting rid of the ball, and then, that play happened. Yeah, he's supposed to get in here shortly, so we'll kind of evaluate that with the medical staff. Probably have more information later today. Yeah. Yeah, no, Adam's been a spark plug for us. You know, everybody talks about Christian and that big signing, but Adam Butler's had really made some impact plays for us. The effort. Again, he had another play yesterday, screen 25, 30 yards down the field, and the guy that made the tackle was Adam Butler. But I think with all D linemen, the best thing, opposite of Max, because, I mean, that's a freak, you know, the ability for him to play almost every snap. When you got D linemen and you can keep them fresh and keep them going, that's better for our team overall. And, you know, we try to get these younger guys going, Nesta, Jonah, all these other players inside to get, you know, keep our guys fresh. So Adam Butler, man, he's really been a bright spot for us this year, just his effort, his energy, and obviously production as well.
Obviously, you've been around the game for a long time. When you look at rookies like Brock Bowers, is there ever been a situation that you can remember being in when you've seen a rookie come in and step up in the offense so quickly as he has?
No, I mean, the last tight end I seen like that I played against, I'll go back a little bit, was Jeremy Shockey. Just going up against him, that was impressive, the impact he has. But I mean, we saw that and we knew it, and I've kind of mentioned that maybe a couple of weeks ago. Man, Brock is a special player. I mean, that ball, him to go up and vertical on a wide receiver, on a DB, and then obviously outrun everybody to the end zone, and then just catching the ball in the flat. All the things that we asked him to do is impressive, and he's just getting better and better each and every week.
Martin, it's super low, my guy.
What do you think is missing for this team to spark that and figure out how to get that back wins?
Yeah, I mean, that's something we haven't done yet. So that's, we're still upstairs figuring it out now, right? So, but when I look at last week's or yesterday's game, I think the mindset was right. We came out with energy. We came out with purpose from special teams to defense. The first quarter, we said we need to attack the first quarter, and we did such. Then you got to do that each and every quarter. And then, and again, going back to a lot of questions that's been asked today, if there's a momentum change, how do you weather the storm? And I think that's where we got to continue to get better at. That's a part of the growth, not just for the players, our coaches, our entire team, of just being consistent, you know, not blinking. It's a 4-quarter game. Look, our 2 wins came being down by 10 points. And early in that game, we were down by 10. So there was still a chance. There was still hope there for us. And you got to keep playing. You never know when that play is going to happen, right? Go back a couple weeks ago, week 2, Robert Spillane makes an interception. That gets us going. So we just didn't have that play yesterday. And again, we got to keep continuing to grow. And that's going to be a part of the process today and this week. I thought Tommy did a good job. I mean, there's obviously some plays there that he wants to take back and we can learn from. But, you know, for his first career start, I love the effort. I love the energy. He was physical in the run game. You know, again, it's got to clean up some other stuff, but it's something that we can grow on. Obviously, some positives there. When you lose, you always look at the negatives, but there was positives with Tommy.
Oh, my God. Here we go.
Yep.
Where did you kind of go sideways?
I don't know. I think you got to ask Devontae that.
What is the latest of that situation?
It's status quo. Good. All right. Thank you, guys.
All right, there you guys have it. Antonio Pierce with his day after press conference, his Monday weekly press conference. I appreciate everybody that's in here. We have over 171 in the chat right now. Do me a favor if you haven't already. Smash some thumbs, hand me that sub, crush the belt. We are on a whole bunch of different platforms today, and I appreciate everybody that's pulled on up for this so far. Yeah, we have a lot to talk about, and we are going to do another live this afternoon. I'm not leaving right now, so pump the brakes. We should have Joe on in another 3 hours and do the Hammer and Joe show, and we're going to talk more about yesterday's game. I will go through the stats and everything right now, and I'm going to talk about some of the things that I saw, some of the things I liked, some of the things I didn't like, and ultimately where the fuck we are going right now as we sit at 2-3, 0-2 in our division, 2-2 conference record wise. It's a lot to talk about. It's truly becoming more of a dumpster fire as the weeks go by. So let's get these stats up real quick. Again, I appreciate each and every single one of y'all that are in here right now. We're going to talk. Let's do the team stats first. First downs, we had 20. Denver had 18. Total plays 65-58 in favor of the Raiders. Total yards 330 to 289 in favor of the Raiders. That's just embarrassing to think that we had more plays. We didn't get the win, but it is what it is. Third down efficiency, 7 for 15 for the Raiders, 0 for 1 on fourth down, 3 for 12 for Denver, 1 for 1 on fourth down for them. Total drives, 12 each. Yards per play, we had 5.1. They had 5.0. Passing, 215 to 180 in favor of the Raiders. Rushing, 115 to 109 in favor of the Raiders. 3 sacks, lost 16 yards for us. 3 sacks for Denver. They lost 26. Penalties, 11 for 79. Bullshit. 9 for 44 for Denver. Red zone opportunities, we were 1 for 2. They were 3 for 4. 3 interceptions, obviously, 2 from Minshew. And you had no turnovers for Denver. Time of possession, 31-23. For us, 28-37 for Denver. Now, let's go to the box scores and just talk about our guys that really don't give a shit what Denver did. Minshew, 12 for 17, 137 yards, 8.1 on average, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, sacked twice, loss of 9 yards, QBR, 46.7, overall rating, 74.5. Aiden O'Connell, 10 for 20, 94 yards, 4.7 on average, 1 interception, 1 sack, loss of 7 yards, 20.8 QBR with a rating of 42.5. Overall for the team, it was for the quarterback rating, it was a 52.9, which is just disgusting. In the running game, Amir Abdullah, 5 carries, 42 yards, 8.4 on average. His longest run was at 40 yards, and he had the 1 touchdown. Alexander Madison, 15 to 38, 2.5 on average. Not a good look. His longest was 8 yards. I don't care about the rest because they really didn't do too much. In the receiving department, you had our guy, 8 receptions, 97 yards on 12 targets, 12.1 on average. His first NFL touchdown. His longest was at 57 yards on the first drive of the game for the Raiders. Jacoby Myers, 6 receptions, 9 targets, 72 yards, 12 yards per average. His longest was 21. Alexander Madison, 2 receptions, 23 yards on 3 targets, 11.5 was his average. Trey Tucker, 2 for 18 on 5 targets, 9 on average. His longest was 12 yards. DJ Turner, 1 reception on 4 targets, 12 yards. Amir Abdullah, 3 receptions on 3 targets, 9 yards. In the defensive department, Spillane, 5 straight weeks, 10 tackle plus, 10 total, 6 solo, 2 tackles for loss. Trayvon Merrick, 8 total, not a good look. 4 solo, 1 pass breakup. Christian Wilkins, 5 total, 4 solo, 1 sack, 2 for a loss, 1 QB hit. Snowden, 5 total, 2 solo, 1 for a loss, 1 QB hit. I don't think we need to really go through the rest of this, but I will put out Polamalu, Hobbs, and Crosby. Polamalu, 4 total, 3 solo. Hobbs, 4 total, 2 solo. Crosby, 3 total, 3 solo, 2 sacks, 2 for a loss, 2 QB hits. So you go with the box score and team stats overall in this loss. So yes, guys, we got our asses handed to us by a team that we had beaten 8 straight meetings since relocating to Las Vegas. This is another one of those matchups where we talked about the rookie Bo Nix. Really hasn't been that great as a starter this year for the Broncos. They beat Tampa Bay a couple of weeks ago. They beat the Jets last week in just a very, very disgusting game. And again, 2 times, 2 losses on our record have been a direct result of Gardner Minshew's mistakes. Gardner Minshew's turnovers completely changed the game for the other team, and that other team ultimately beat us. Week 1 against the Chargers, and now this game against the Broncos, a terrible, terrible decision made. Red zone situation. We're 5 yards out of the end zone. You throw it, picked off by Patrick Surtain, pick 6 to the house. Surtain had 2 interceptions on us yesterday. We knew Surtain was a guy to be concerned about going into this matchup. Surtain is definitely one of the elite cornerbacks in the league. Obviously, Note, and I definitely spoke way too soon. Definitely a situation where what I said during the live, which I actually wanted to wait until after the game, but what my comments during the game did not age very, very well. I said, Note, no problem. God damn, was I wrong. Again, stupid fucking decisions, man. We have the weapons on offense, and then we're down over 2 scores. Now, all of a sudden, you want to bench Minshew and put O'Connell in. Right now, as it stands, we have 2 quarterbacks on our roster, realistically, and whatever comes out of my mouth right now, you can take it however you want. You could take it at face value, or you can say I'm just talking shit. But realistically, the 2 quarterbacks that we have on this team as it stands right now, in Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew, both are best fit as backup quarterbacks. We know that Minshew has been a journeyman backup. He's played for 4 other teams. Telesco, and I talked about this last week. We heard Charles. I saw a video clip of Charles Woodson on Fox yesterday saying, like, why can't we have nice things? Talks about us missing out on the opportunity for CJ Stroud in the draft 2 years ago. We missed out on the opportunity for Jaden Daniels and moving up in the draft and getting him as our quarterback of the future. We see what Washington has done these last 2 weeks with not 1, but 2 guys we should have had in this building. Cliff Kingsbury walked out on us. Telesco, we're not moving up for a quarterback. JJ, Green Bay. Jaden Daniels, now in Washington. Make this shit make sense. We talked about Stroud 2 years ago with Ziegler wanting him, McDaniels not wanting him, setting our team back. We're set back I think we're set back right now, realistically, another 3, maybe 4 years if we don't get this shit together and get this shit together quick. Devontae Adams now wants to be out of here. Devontae Adams could end up in either New Orleans or New York. New York doesn't look that great either. They lost in London to Minnesota. Aaron Rodgers had 3 interceptions yesterday. That offense ain't looking that great. It starts in-house and it starts with our front office, and it starts with working together, whether it be in the front office or the coaching staff. And this is really a terrible, terrible look right now. Again, we go into Denver, a team that we've beat 8 straight games. Minshew with that terrible decision-making turned that game around, and that was it for us. It's like we just tucked our tails between our legs and went home. Max played. Max had 2 sacks. You got this jackass in Mike Lombardi that's continuing to have the Raiders' name in his mouth. Dude, shut the fuck up. Nobody wants to hear you. Just stay home. Put yourself in a cave or something. Nobody wants to hear what you have to say about this team. You're no longer employed. Your son's no longer employed by us. Sit down, shut the fuck up. Nobody wants to hear you. I don't care whose platforms you're going on. It could be Pat McAfee. It could be any Tom, Dick, and Harry. I don't care. Keep the Raiders' name out your fucking mouth. You're no longer employed here, and neither is your kid. Unapologetic today. I'm beyond pissed off. I didn't think I was going to be able to do this and be as fired up as I am. I thought I was going to try to hold it in and wait until the later show with Joe. I'm still going to talk my shit when Joe's on. And we're going to hear from you guys during that live as well. I might even open up the vault line during this live. We're not going to be on very long. Big Bro is going to be live in about 40 minutes. So I want to be done before he starts. And then I want you guys to go over there and spam the hell out of that chat. Let me see if one thing I haven't done, and I apologize sincerely, didn't do a roll call. Let me just shout out everybody that's in here real quickly if I can. Walt, David, Taino, salute my guy. Junior Flores, Desert Raider, booger no nose ring. Yeah, that shit was absolutely disgusting. And you guys saw the thumbnail. I'm still gonna have fun with it, but that was absolutely disgusting. Raider Rebel, X, Flex Money, Dominique 5, Ivan Raider, Huey P, Manny V, Adam Sweeney, Mondo Reyes, Corvette, Raider Clan. See if I'm missing anybody. Captain, Eric, John. Appreciate each and every single one of y'all in here. We have over 324 in the chat right now. Guys, if you haven't already, smash some thumbs, hammer that sub, crush a bell. Appreciate everybody that's in here. And you guys see it in the top right corner. Goal is 10K. Season's end, the goal is 15K. We're getting closer to 9,400. Run that motherfucker up, y'all. Especially if you're new in here. We're on a whole bunch of different platforms right now. We're even on the talk that is tick. We're on X. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitch. We're on Instagram. Come on over. Raider Nation News Today on YouTube. You can put in Hammer's House. Come be part of the conversation, man. And if you guys really want to support me, support the channel, keep the lights on here at Raider Nation News Today. The link is pinned to the very, very top. Let's see if I'm missing anything. Circle of Life was good. Demokes was good. So you guys heard the presser. You heard what AP said right away. Oh, do you think O'Connell's going to start? I don't know. We got to look back at film. Let's be real. You know you were looking at film on that flight back. You know you've been looking at film since early as hell this morning. I just, shit is frustrating as fuck to be in this situation right now. Again, now we are now under 500. We're 2-3. We are 0-2 in the division. This was another one of those games within our division that we're supposed to have. But woulda, coulda, shoulda. It is what it is. That shit is out the window now. Damn, a whole bunch of alerts just went off. Salute to Taino. He just gifted 50 Raider Nation News Today memberships. Holy shit. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. And salute to all the new members. Welcome to the family. I can't go through this whole list of names, but 50 of y'all just got gifted. Salute to Taino. He's a real one. Y'all know what it is. In terms of this whole thing, we're going into week 6 now. So a quarter of the season is gone. Evaluation should be done. Evaluation should be completed. Minshew is not the starter. Realistically, neither one of these guys, and it's not an insult, it's just a fact of life. Neither one of these guys should be starting quarterbacks for this organization right now. And if somebody feels butthurt about it, I don't give a fuck. This is absolutely disgusting. Realistically, and again, I know this is a woulda, coulda, shoulda. We should be sitting at least 4-2 right now. We're going home to play Pittsburgh. We played Pittsburgh in our home opener last year and shit the bed there with a whole bunch of ugly ass yellow flags flailing around Allegiant Stadium. And then after that, if I remember correctly, we have, somebody told me the team, we had the Rams. We have the Rams. Rams have been beat up. But guess what? It doesn't matter, because realistically, we have been playing down to these teams that, oh, they benched their starting quarterback and their backup is coming in. Oh, the backup has beat us 4 times for his career, and they beat the dog shit out of us in our home opener. Oh, Bo Nix isn't that good. Their defense is good, and people have said that about the Broncos defense. But we shot ourselves in the foot, and we fucking lost. We went against a quarterback that was, a head coach that was coming back to the NFL after years of being a head coach in college football. Again, stupid fucking mistake, shooting ourselves in the foot, and look, another loss. Something's got to give. It's a terrible situation to be in. Did you just gift another 50? Jesus Christ. Taino just gifted another 50 memberships. Salute to the over 300 we have in here right now. For those that are on the other platforms, you may want to come over to YouTube right now, because Taino is going in right now with these gifts. Bro, I really, really appreciate it. Green Dot Gang is most definitely in the building right now. It's thinking about this matchup, and I know, if I remember correctly, Dallas did beat Pittsburgh last night. It was a rain delay. It was a really bad thunderstorm in Pittsburgh. We will do the matchup preview later on this week, but like, I've been taking this week by week, but I told you guys also after week 3 where I saw us finishing, and I'm looking at a 6-11. That was me being nice. We keep playing like this, you're looking at a team that's going to finish 3-14, 4-13. Bowers did his thing yesterday. We were all anticipating and hoping that Bowers would have had at least 2 touchdowns, and he could have. The offensive line didn't do a bad job yesterday. What do we have? A total of 3 sacks for the game. I am disappointed, but at the same time, I'm not surprised in regards to how the running game was utilized. We talked about the guys that I thought was going to be utilized yesterday. Obviously, Madison was going to be carrying the load for the running back room. And I feel like, yeah, you had Dylan Laube and you had Sincere McCormick active just as depth pieces, God forbid. The only guys that were really carrying the ball yesterday for us, at least when it came to the running back depth chart, was Alexander Madison and Amir Abdullah. Like, I'm a little disappointed in that, but again, at the same time, I am not very surprised. Is it time to panic right now? Yeah. Yeah, it absolutely is. We are 5 games in. We're under 500 right now. We're 0-2 in our division. We're oh my goodness, I'm slipping. We're at 500 right now as it pertains to conference records. Like, shit's got to turn around. What QB are we getting, Hammer? Raider Aaron, at this point in time, I know a lot of you guys have mentioned quarterbacks to draft. I'm not thinking that far ahead yet. I know a lot of other people are, or people are talking about names. I've given you guys names in the past of quarterbacks that I'm potentially looking at, but I'm not trying to think that far ahead. Again, I much rather take it 1 week at a time, and that's what I'm trying to do with the best of my ability right now. But our situation right now, and I keep saying it, I know it's woulda, coulda, shoulda. It is what it is, but we should have had somebody like Stroud. We should have had somebody like Jaden Daniels. And you see what Jaden Daniels is doing in Washington right now. Like, the weapons that we have on our offense, this dude will be cooking even more. And it sucks that we're in this situation. It sucks that Telesco was the one that ultimately went and did this to us. And I'm not trying to make excuses, but this is me looking at it from the standpoint of not a couch GM, but somebody, again, and for those that have been watching for 4 years now, you guys know I understand the ins and outs. You guys know that I can sit here and talk numbers and give you guys solid fucking facts when it comes to our Raiders. And some of the decision making that has gone on for over a decade now, it just makes you shake your head and wonder. And I've said this in terms of Mark Davis, and I've told you guys before, I'm pretty sure Mark Davis has watched before. We have met a couple of times in Vegas. I don't know if it's the fact that you really didn't pay attention to everything that your father was doing and your father built with this organization. God rest his soul. But maybe you do need another person that can be in your ear. We've been waiting for the longest time to hear the league's approval of the minority ownership for Tom Brady. And those meetings keep coming and going without hearing an ultimate result of, was he approved or was he not? But you need somebody with a legit football intellect, a really high football IQ, somebody that understands the business to help you make these decisions. Granted, Telesco has been a GM for over a decade. He was with the Chargers for 13 years. And when we did hire him as our new GM, I had my concerns. I was ready to jump off the ledge. But you had Jake, who is a lifelong Chargers fan. Salute to him. Love you, brother. He's the one that pretty much, as the hiring happened, we did a live. We had him call in, and he pretty much tried to alleviate everybody's hesitation and everybody's nervousness as it pertained to the signing of Tom Telesco. Well, now it feels like I said before, the panic button has been hit, guys. You went and signed a journeyman backup, knowing that the quarterback that we already had in Aiden O'Connell, and I said this from the time we drafted him, that he was going to be best as a backup in the league. Instead of doing the right things. Now, this whole thing with Devontae Adams, everybody's trying to figure out what it is that we can get, what type of compensation. Hey, maybe that compensation can help as we approach the draft, and we can throw some of these. If they're draft picks, they're draft picks. If they're really good second, third, if it's multiple draft picks, hey, we can put a package together and throw this at one of these top teams at the lower end of the draft or at the higher end of the draft, that we can try to get a quarterback of the future. But neither one of these guys right now are it. Total of 3 turnovers from both quarterbacks yesterday. We know that you had to rely on the pass game the second Aiden O'Connell came in. You should have had Aiden O'Connell in that game a hell of a lot sooner yesterday. We know the chemistry that he has with Jacoby Myers. Make it make sense right now. Salute to Jersey on the $10. It's obvious we need a QB. Seems like there aren't a lot of teams that will draft one. So hopefully we can get our guy. I don't trust AP and Getsy to develop one. I think we need to go all in on Ben Johnson. You know what we do here when you guys send a super chat. So let me just drop this real quick for y'all.
Yes, Will, you made my day.
I salute to Jersey on the $10 holla. Appreciate you, brother. God, has it been 4 years? What the yeah. Is Graph in the chat? Because I saw somebody said Graph. I am hella nervous when he sends me something like this in a live. I get incredibly nervous. So, bro, I got you. Even though you're supposed to be going live in another half hour, but I got you. Everybody's on this whole Shedeur Sanders kick. I don't know how I feel about Shedeur Sanders. I might have to watch some more Colorado football. Cam Ward is another guy a lot of people seem to be talking about a lot. Carson Beck, that's the kid from Georgia. And of course, Ewers, but Ewers hasn't played in 2 weeks. And this was the thing that I've talked about when it comes to Quinn Ewers, that last year went down with an injury. A lot of the injuries that he's had have been minor, but I've always looked at a lot of Texas quarterbacks since Vince Young as being quarterbacks that are backups as well. The only reason he came back to Texas this past year was knowing his draft stock had dropped last year with the injury. So he came back to try to prove one more time, and he's a front runner for the Heisman right now. I think that might have changed, though, since he's been out the last 2 weeks. But I'm going to start looking at these quarterbacks a little bit more, doing my research, and just trying to gather the information and see what's going to make sense. This whole thing with Tay, we have about 3 weeks until the trade deadline. We have to see ultimately what's going to happen. Like I said, with the Jets losing yesterday and the way they lost, maybe we can up it a little bit more and be like, hey, you guys really need him that bad? Well, yeah, this is what it's going to cost you. But we'll see. And somebody the other day, I can't remember who said it, but somebody brought it to my attention. It would be very, very interesting if we were to play New Orleans, and New Orleans had Carr and Adams, and at this point, I don't think it's going to happen if we keep this up with our record, that both teams could be battling each other. Granted, they're 2 different conferences. They could be that they're fighting for like a playoff spot. That would be very interesting, but I doubt that's going to happen at the rate that we're going right now. I hope the Tay trade happens today. They're going to wait for this dude to be healed up. The fact that they're saying 1 to 2 weeks too is kind of sketch. Like, that they're just pretty much sitting back taking calls right now to see what the offers are. We might have to trade up for Carson Beck, though. We might have to trade. Look, we're going to have to trade up for any of these guys unless we end up with one of the worst records in the NFL. And again, the other thing that's really, really hurting this team right now, and this was the one bright spot that a lot of us, including myself, was looking forward to this season starting with, was our defensive line and what a problem our defensive line could be. Our defensive line has been obliterated by injuries. Christian Wilkins went down yesterday. It's out there that apparently it happened after after the celebration after the sack that he got, but Max with the ankle injury, he missed last week. Kuntz out for the year. It's just been one after the next with it when it comes to our defensive line, and that was supposed to be the bright spot for this team. It's not helping the cause right now. 3 and 4. Well, look, I'm being realistic right now. Again, I've told you guys as long as I've been doing this, I don't sugarcoat shit, and I don't tell you guys that the world is sunshine and rainbows. If things are going bad, I'm going to call it the way I see it. If players are fucking up, I'm going to call it the way I see it. If players are doing good, you're going to get your flowers where your flowers are due. But right now, this has ultimately become a shit show. The kid that they had in yesterday, and this was a Telesco guy as well. They claimed off waivers. What was the last name? Howard? Bro looked lost as fuck yesterday. Like, why are you out there? I much rather have seen Bernie or Gaynor, guys that already know the system that have actually put in some work. I don't know what the hell that dude is. Realistically, that dude Harper yesterday, because I even had to ask Graf during the live, but realistically, he is a
Who the fuck is that guy?
pretty much. We got to stop with this shit, man. The defense quit. Nah, we win maybe 7 games. We don't need to trade up much for a QB. Salute to Walt, man. Adam Butler needs to be cut. Why, Westwood? Oh, yeah, people are blaming Adam Butler for that, but you heard AP. He is in the building today. They're going to do the evaluations. They'll see what happens. Isaiah Randolph said, I say we win 6 or 7. Is this route? I doubt it. And IG Fit, a lot of people have brought this up. I don't know realistically if this is going to happen because ultimately, yes, you do have Kirk Cousins with the Falcons for the next 4 years. But I think that the reason they did that was maybe they don't trust in the health of that Achilles and do believe that Penix was going to be, or is going to be rather, their quarterback of the future whenever Kirk Cousins decides to call it quits. So I don't think that's really going to be something that's on the table for us right now. Wilkins jumped over Max the other week. Yeah, we actually used that as a thumbnail a couple of weeks ago, my guy. Pick like number 9 and number 10, or we're pretty much going to be back in the spot that we were in this past draft if we keep this shit up. Injuries can turn things ugly real fast. You are not lying. So you look at a team like the Rams who have lost their 2 premier wide receivers in Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. Like, they're struggling right now. The Niners have been battling injuries as well. The Niners have the same record as us for those that are unaware right now. But I'm not good. I'm not in a good place right now as it pertains to our organization, our team, because we should not be sitting here at 2-3 right now. But bad decision making on the field and bad decision making in the offseason is why we are where we are right now. Point blank period, the end. Again, I'm not going to sit here and try to paint you guys a picture because there's no pretty picture to be painted right now with this shit. Salute to Jersey Raider again on a $9.99, realistically, a $10. We need a play caller at the top. Ben Johnson has proven to be able to call a great game. If we do find a good OC for AP, he will be a head coach in 2 years. Then we'll be right back here. Salute to you, bro, and I appreciate you.
Rest will. You made my day.
And salute to Ty Davis, my guy, on the $10. People are saying we need a QB, and I totally agree, along with the new OC, but we need a way better O-line because no matter what it is at QB, it's pointless. If we can't protect them and give them time to throw. Salute to you, and you're 1,000% right.
Rest will. You made my day.
You're 1,000% correct when you say that, bro. Sorry, trying to adjust myself. This chair is really. I need a new chair. Somebody just dropped me like a $500 super chat. I'm gonna get a new chair. I can't do this shit no more. Our offensive line. We talked about this the other day, and of course, Wasted gave me a hard time about this when I talked about a guy right now on Mel Kiper's board, the top 25 prospects going into the 2025 NFL draft is a left tackle in Kelvin Banks out of Texas. The dude has started 32 games for Texas. He's been a solid left tackle for them. The run blocking is something that is a small issue for him, but overall, this dude is a monster. And he's like, oh, here we go, being the homer, da-da-da-da-da. Like, this dude right now is a top prospect. He is the number 1 left tackle on Mel Kiper's draft board right now. So you can't say it's something realistically, you can't say it's me being a homer from the things that I've read and things that I've seen. Like, his performance, you guys know I'm a huge UT fan. I watch just about every single game that I can. Like, the dude is a solid left tackle. Now, as it goes with Miller, he's been battling the shoulder injury. Early in the season, was dealing with the knee injury. He is struggling big time right now. JPJ is doing a pretty solid job. Andre James, realistically, is going to be Andre James, and until he goes down with a significant injury, nobody's taking that spot from him. Not JPJ, not Parham, who's played center as well, not Jordan Meredith, who on the depth chart, I believe, is backing up Andre James. So we're going to have to leave that one alone right now. The right side, in terms of Glazer Mumford, we talked about this as well. if they feel that Miller's really not playing up to his job right now, then put Mumford when he's healthy at left tackle. And go Mumford, go JPJ, go James, go Parham, go Glaze. The run game didn't do bad yesterday. They didn't. Look, we didn't have Zamir White yesterday. No Zamir, no problem. We just couldn't we had one mistake, and that just it turned the game around tremendously for everybody. AOC isn't getting this team to 10 wins, no way in hell. Real recognizing real. Glad you see it the way that I do. Elite said Rams are 1-4. Yeah. Injuries have played a huge role for these teams right now. And it sucks, but it is what it is. It's part of the game. Raiders do get nice draft capital for Adams. I would try to get running back GNT and a Q. Is that the kid out of Boise State? Is that the kid out of Boise State? Salute to everybody in TikTok. I'm sorry. I know it probably looks like I'm ignoring you guys right now, but there's nothing I can do. Badger had better numbers than the top 4 QBs drafted last year combined, over 17,000 yards and 159 touchdowns in college, and outplayed them all in preseason. Well, that's preseason though, bro. AP was the wrong choice. 6 wins at most this season. Raiders have no QB1. Fire AP. Get a real coach. Good God. You know what they say. Truth hurts sometimes. And again, look, AP wanted his guy in Jaden Daniels. Pretty sure Devontae Adams wanted Jaden Daniels. Josh Jacobs wanted Jaden Daniels. Tom Telesco did not want to move up for Jaden Daniels. Cliff Kingsbury pretty much wanted Jaden Daniels. Cliff Kingsbury walked on us. JJ walked out on us. A is now preferring to be traded. You can't even realistically right now, you can't even be mad at Tay. And I'm saying this. You guys saw me do the live last week before the report came out that he preferred to be traded, but you cannot be mad at him for this right now. You can't. I talked about this in regards to the track record since he's been here, and this is year 3 with us. He has had 6 different quarterbacks. Carr, Stidham, Hoyer, Garoppolo, Minshew, O'Connell. That's not a good look. That's not a good look at all. I would want to get the fuck out of here too. No, we don't draft the high offensive lineman. That Texas left tackle is really good. See? No, he's definitely not. Leatherwood was a major reach, and Leatherwood was another guy for me. I didn't even have him remotely on a draft board. Leatherwood was a guy for me that was
Who the fuck is that guy?
Not a guy that I remotely wanted at all. Y'all can't come up with a logical reason why Aiden's trash. You have to be talking to somebody in the chat because I didn't say he was trash, but I said that he was best fit as a backup, just as Gardner Minshew is best fit as a backup. Yeah, and what's crazy is he put up some really significant numbers. He still put up like some Tate-esque numbers with DC. This last year and a quarter of a season, it's insane. Our QB be eating boogers on the sideline. Yep. Y'all saw the thumbnail. Y'all, for those that didn't see the video, like, yo, what are you doing? Hire me as coach. I'll get us the first pick. Trust. Demokes, of course you will. But you're the same one that always says AOC MVP incoming. Jaden Daniels is 4-1. Y'all are going to make me put my head through one of these monitors. Commanders really wanted Daniels too, though. Got to be real, man. No way Washington was trading with us. Washington was not moving out of that spot. All right, so everybody's going through this now. If you're mad at Devontae, it's because you're weird. Sean Johnson. Been a minute since you've been in here. Ashton Genty out of Boise State through 5 games, 95. All right, so it is a kid out of Boise State. He's another guy. He is actually the number one right now, number one prospect. Averaging 11 yards per carry this whole through the first 5 games of the year. That's crazy. Yep. I see a lot of people kind of seeing it this way now, and I appreciate y'all. Make sure I've caught up. Daniels wouldn't be doing this on the Raiders, no cap. I beg to differ, good stuff. What if, and I guess, this is what if, woulda, coulda, shoulda. If Kingsbury was here, who is his offensive coordinator in Washington, who's to say that he wouldn't be doing this with all the weapons? We definitely have more weapons on offense than Washington does. AOC lost his job to Minshew. Yeah. All right. I appreciate each and every single one of y'all that pulled on up. We've been on for 45 minutes. Graph is going to be live in about 14 minutes, but I'm going to just let this breathe for a little bit. We're going to be back live in another 2 hours and 15 minutes. I'm going to reach out to Joe again. You guys should be getting the Hammer and Joe show. So for those that are in here, definitely come on back, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific time. And on your way out, if you haven't already, and you guys see we went up a little bit, I appreciate y'all, 93.44. We have over 400 in here. Smash some thumbs, hammer that sub, crush the bell to stay up to date with all your Raiders news, rumors, updates, live streams, and reactions in the house that Hammer built by the nation for the nation. Raider Nation News Today. Continue to stay safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. COVID or not, you should always remember to wash your hands and your asses. And as always, win, lose, or tie, Raider Nation till I die. Till 5 o'clock, y'all. Peace, love, and positivity.
And when I leave, come together like butt cheeks.
See y'all at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific. I'm outro.